Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be showing you how you can recreate this packaging template for French fries. So as you can see that I have made a very simple packaging for French fries, and you can also play around with the color schemes, with the graphic. If there's any way you want to redesign its packaging, you can do that. Right. So it's really simple to do, and I'll show you how that's done. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'll be opening up a new document, and for this video I will be using this custom size document, which is 180 pixels in width and 1920 pixels in height. And I'm going to go ahead and also rename my document right here. So I'll rename this to be French fries packaging. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and also rename my layer 1 right here to be template. So before I begin, I would also like to make sure that my Smart Guides options has been switched on. So you can check that by going over here to this views panel and coming down right over here in the Smart Guides option. You can see that it has been activated. So this Smart Guides option will be helping me to make my packaging template for a packet of French fries. Right. So what I'm gonna do first is that I'll be adding a color to this document right here. So I'll be using this rectangle tool, okay, and I'll be changing the fill to be dark red, like this darker shade of red right here. I'll click on my document, and I'll also make sure that my rectangle's dimension is same as my original document that I just opened, which is 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. And I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And I'm just going to drag this rectangle over my document like that. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and make this kind of a shape. This will be on the back side of my packaging, and whereas this one right here, it's the front side. So these folds right here will be used to apply glue and stick it in place, right? So I'll be using the pen tool for now. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so that I get more space. Okay, so I'm going to start by making my shape like this and make a curve like that. Let's see, it's right here till here. I'm gonna go ahead and close this like this. So it's okay if it's not coming out to be perfect in the first shot, but if we get the rough shape, we can go ahead and also adjust this by using the direct selection tool. I'll select this anchor point right here, and I can just adjust this like that. And with the help of the Smart Guides, I can also see where I have to make my points and adjust the curves accordingly like that. So now we've got like this basic shape. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this a little bit more. I'm going to select this anchor point and bring it a little bit outside like that. Probably even more so that it looks. So you can adjust this accordingly depending on how your shape is. So now it looks a lot better now. So I'm going to make the other shape like this right here. So I'll be using the pen tool again and start by making my shape like this. So there's this curve right here. Oh, oops. Okay, wait. I'm gonna come till here. Make my curve like that. Come back here to this anchor point and I'll close it like that. I'll be using the direct selection tool again to make adjustments so that it looks proportionally better, like this, and more curved, and probably also just increase its size a little bit, like that. So you can adjust this however you want, depending how you wanted it to be. So this looks a lot better. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just select these. I'm going to add a darker shade of this red right here. So I'll go over here to this fill tool, fill command in this color picker, and then just drag my circle down a little so that I get a darker shade of this red. Yeah. And now for making the flaps, right? So the flaps are comparatively a lot easier to make. So I'll be using the pen tool again. Right. So I'll get my pen tool right here and start by making my flaps like this. Once I've got this, I can do the same thing on the other side over here as well, like that. So I'll select these two and I'm going to go ahead and add a gradient to this as well. So by default, you can see in this gradient slider that the colors are white and black, but I'm going to go ahead and change the color as well. I'm going to choose this to be light red or probably dark red as well. And in the black one, I'll choose the dark red again and play around with the RGB as well. You can make it darker, lighter, however you want, like this. Okay. I'm going to select this. Come back here to this gradient panel and I'm going to change the angle to 45 degrees. And let me see. Gradient. Yeah, wait. I have to also change the style. Yep. Looking a lot better now. Like this. Right. I'm going to select these two now and I'm going to make a mirror copy out of it onto the other side as well. So in order to do that, I'll select my shapes. I'll go to Object, Transform, and I'll click on Reflect. So since it's on the other side, I'm making it horizontally. I'll click on this horizontal axis like this and click on Copy. So as you can see that the copies have been made. And all you have to do is just drag it and place it onto your shapes like this. So there's a chance that your shapes might not fit your shape properly, and that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can adjust that as well. So for example, in this one as well, I'm going to get this as close as possible. I'm going to use the direct selection tool. Select this anchor point right here and I'm just going to get this anchor point closer to my point right there. Similarly onto the other one as well, since I'm facing a similar issue. I'm just going to get this one right here. And I'll be using the direct selection tool again. and getting it. Let's see, my point lies there. I'm just gonna get this inwards a little, like that, making sure that my points lie accordingly. I'm gonna zoom in on this a little bit more. Probably use the arrow keys as well, like that. Okay, so we've got our basic template ready. Now the only thing that I have to add is the logo. So in that previous reference image, you must have seen that I've added an image of a McDonald's logo. I'm going to add that same PNG image right here. So I'm going to open up my image. You can find these images up on Google very easily and then save the logo which you find best. And I'm just going to drag my image onto my template right here. I'm going to go ahead and also make this bigger slightly and turn this around like that. And I'm going to make another copy of the same logo onto the other side as well. So I'll right click on this, go to transform and click on reflect. Since it's on the opposite side, since it's happening vertically, I'll click on vertical and click on copy. And I'm just going to drag my image right here as well and adjust this a little bit like that. So I'm going to select these two and I'm going to add a drop shadow behind these two images as well so that it gives a 3D look. So I'll go to this effect panel, go to stylize and click on drop shadow. I'm going to reduce the opacity from 75% to 55%, whereas I'm going to let the other settings be the way it is and I'm going to let the colors stay black. And if I click on OK, you can see that there's a faint, if you look just carefully behind these images, there's a thin line of a black shadow that's been added behind these two images right here. So it's not very noticeable because one, the image is small, and plus secondly, the opacity is also not very high. I'm gonna let it be the way it is right now. And I'm going to close my image as well. I'm going to go ahead and also now save my packaging template. So I'll be going to file and clicking on save as. So by default, my file name is going to be the same name as my document name, which was French fries packaging. And my save as type is going to be Adobe Illustrator. I highly recommend that we save a file in this format so that in case if I want to make any further changes, I can easily do that by accessing my AI file and clicking on save and clicking on OK. So there you go. We have now successfully saved our file in an AI file format. So now that we've come to the end of our tutorial, I hope you found this video to be useful. And with a little practice, you can also make more packaging for different kinds of food and food products as well. Thank you for watching and stay